Welcome everyone. Today we have a new tier list and also updated build guide for ZZZ. Now as you can see behind me, I have collected a variety of different tier lists and also different builds for each of the characters, and we'll be updating this one in this video. So we'll be going through the tier list that is available on the community, going through some of the best S rank characters and also A rank characters. Together with a combination of the pets and also the builds up for the characters, we'll be looking into a variety of builds for each of those characters and also updating the pets and also different systems. So to jump right into the video, we have 3 different tier lists. One is coming from Praydon, one is coming from Genshin.gg, one is coming from Mobilitics. So briefly having a look at all 3 tier lists, what you can notice is that Ilan will be on the top of the tier list. I'm sure this is not a surprise. And one of the reasons other characters like Lycan, Reina, and also Sokaku is on the top of the tier list is that because they will support Ilan together with Lycan. And this is the combination and also the major theme of the tier list, as you guys can see. And right now the meta for the tier list is gonna be the Ice team. The Ice team can be formed in a few varieties. So one of the ways of forming the Ice team is with Ellen, Reina, and also Lycan. The second way of forming the Ice team is coming over to Sokaku, and this makes a mono Ice team, and then you can go into the Shark pool for the highest ice damage as Sokaku lowers the enemy's ice resistance. So this is gonna be the top of the tier list. But what if you have other characters like Grace, you have other characters like Nikamata, and also Soldier 11? While majority of the tier lists have rated them pretty highly, and characters like Grace, Nekomata, Soldier 11, and also Kodia are still top of the tier list. So one of the reasons is that they were built into mono or dual elemental teams with electric, with physical, and also with fire. And together having additional fire characters like Lucy and also additional physical characters like Piper will help you greatly progressing through the game and also to build up your certain pet count for 2 elemental damage. Now there are a few pets that is added to the game, including the physical pet with Bambuva, and also over here we have the electric pet with Plug Bull, and finally Rocket Bull is still the fire pet with having 2 fire characters on the team. Now we have had a tier list about the pets, and if you guys are not sure about those, I have the links available for you guys below. Now finally, the 4-star or the A rank characters are lower on the tier list, and this is to be expected. The only character that is of higher ranking is Sokaku, because her incredible powers to support characters that is on the top of the meta. What you're likely going to see on the next banner is that Nicole will be going up on the tier list, likely around tier 1 or even tier 0.5 with a new character Zhu Yuan that is going to use additional ether damage. And in terms of defensive characters, it is nice to have Ben, but most of the players right now want more damage. And this is why characters that support other characters like Lucy will be a priority as you build your 3rd character. Most players are looking forward to 1 or 2 S rank characters together with 1 A rank character. Now because Mobilitics does have additional notes explaining each of the characters, I'll also make the links available for you guys to have a look. So let's come over and also let's build my own tier list. It is quite straightforward, and what I do is I'll just put the obvious over there. I'll put in the S rank characters, so we start with Ellen, and I'm gonna put Grace on A rank, and I'm gonna put Lycan onto S rank as well, because those characters work wonderfully well. Lycan can work well by himself because of his fraction. And I'll put Reina at the same level as Grace. Finally, I'll put Nekomata on A rank, and I'll put Kodia and also Soldier 11 on the B rank. And this is my personal tier list for the S rank characters. Now if we come over to the rest of the characters, so what I reckon is I will be putting Sokaku on the top of the tier list. Yes, this is an incredibly strong team, and I want to stress out that if you are like me, who is getting a little more copies of Sokaku, she is very powerful. So let me show you guys. I was lucky enough to get her unlocked to 4 rank. And if you get additional ranks of her, which allows you to lower the enemy's cold resistance, this really empowers the Ice team. And this is why Sokaku is the top of my tier list. To follow from there, I would say that Lucy can be a little higher. Maybe I'll put her a little higher. I'll put her around 5 characters. And the 3 characters like Billy, MB and also Cohen will be going over here. I'll put Anton over here, Ben over here, because they have their own serves. Anton can go well with Grace, while Ben can be a defensive character coming with other characters, as we're going to see in the builds. Now, I want to put Nicole a little higher, simply because the next banner, she will definitely be coming over to the A rank. But at the moment, she's on the B rank, simply because there's not enough other characters, and you don't want to waste resources onto her. And finally, in terms of Piper, I'll put her over here. So you can see, the highlights are going to be the S rank characters. The top rank A rank characters is going to be Sokaku for this particular banner. Followed by that, there are 4 optional characters that is great on the team. And the 3 free characters are going to be a little lower ranking, and I don't recommend investing into those. Now, we do have a previous tier list together with a previous team comp guide. So coming over to the second part, and we'll be going over to the combination of characters and tier lists, and we'll be updating those as well. So as I mentioned earlier, the pure ice team is going to be very powerful. Similarly, we can go with Sokaku, Lycan, and also Butler for the additional fraction team for additional energy gain, and this is a personal choice. I do believe Shakpu will deal a little more damage. Now, in terms of other combinations, you can go with a disparity of 2 elements of characters, and having Grace on the team allows you to have additional damage in terms of mixing different elements. Now, during this time, I really want to highlight having Ellen and also Sokaku on the team, and then you can follow up with your final character that can be on the fraction of the Victoria housekeeping. Ideally, you want to go with Reina, but if you cannot go with Reina, it is okay if you go with Cohen, who still follows the same faction, and this will give you a mix of damage. During this time, you definitely want a ballad pet for Ellen. Now, as you keep going, for the Lycan teams, this hasn't changed much as well, because they are coming from the same household, and having 2 ice characters can be great coming with Shakbu as well. So my current setup is actually having Lycan, having Grace, and also having Sokaku, and this is my current setup. Now, in terms of additional damage dealing, if you want to try Grace and also Anton, that is okay as well. And this also opens up us options to run a different variety of pet. But in terms of straightforward damage, you definitely want Lycan coming with Ellen, and that is something I'm also saving up for. Now, in terms of the team comp for Grace, it is quite straightforward. You want to be stacking electric characters or characters from the Belgard heavy industry, and Anton definitely fits the role for this one. Now, during this time, I do want to highlight that if you are drawing for pets, make sure you check out previous pet video, because in that video, we actually talk about having electric anomaly damage build-up may be preferable over the safety pet. So previously, the builds will consist of safety pet, but I'm recommending Plug Boo over here to do additional anomaly damage. This is because Grace is an anomaly character, so here you can replace Safe Boo with additional anomaly damage. Now, because the build I'm using doesn't have the updated pets, I can't show you guys over here. And once I find an updated builder, I'll let you guys know. As we keep going for Grace, you can see that the mono fire team for Grace can also be adjusted, simply because there's an additional character that is going to be a supporting character. So if we're running Grace with a fire team, we can go with Soldier 11 or Kodia together with Lucy, which is a great fire supporting character. And this allows us to mix additional characters and also to take out Ben if you don't want to be that defensive. But one of the focus with Kodia and also Ben is that they work really well. And very soon, we're looking to the Kodia teams that will give us more synergies having additional fire character. Now finally, one of my ideal premium team for Grace will be Grace, Lycan, and also Reina. And Butler Pet is going to be amazing for this well-rounded team without having Ellen on the team. Now, say Reina is one of the best supporting characters in the game because she provides damage boost and also penetration. Reina pretty much works with all the characters, and you can see in our previous guide, she has a variety of combinations with electric characters, starting characters, and with fire, with anomaly characters, and also with ice characters. So not much we have to say about that. But one of the focus is going to be Soldier 11. Previously, during the close beta, Soldier 11 can go with Ben, and Anton is not the best choice. But now if you set Soldier 11 coming with Lucy, Ben, and also having the Rocket Boo pet over here, this will provide you with high damage. So if you're looking for a free-to-play team with Soldier 11, you can go with Soldier 11, Ben, and then go with Lucy and also Rocket Boo to have the highest damage. And this, I do think, is one of the better setup. Now, of course, guys, you can still run Codia, Soldier 11, and also Ben, or you can run Codia, Soldier 11, and also Lucy, and this can still work. Quickly jumping over to the Necrometa team, there isn't too much change over here as well. And what I recommend is having Ben Volva over here as one of the new pets to have increasing build up for the physical damage attributes. And this will allow you to do a lot of physical damage and also physical damage build up for the Necrometa team. The Necrometa team is quite straightforward. You can have the pet coming from a milling, which is going to be the cunning hair infection. Or you can having the battle pet, having Lycan, Ellen, and also Necrometa. And finally, guys, for a free-to-play Necrometa team, you can go with Necrometa, Cohen, and then coming over to the new character with Piper. Piper can be a good support for this case if you're looking for free-to-play. But if you're looking for stronger support, I definitely recommend Reyna whenever you can, and this will give you the highest damage. Now we have talked about Cody a little bit at the start of the game, and here we do want to focus on having the right pet for the choices. So coming over to the section of the pets, and we know Rocket Boo is going to be the fire pet that is going to be the highest damaging fire pet for the melee damage. The alternative choice is coming over to the safety pet, and this will focus on the Belgon heavy industry. Personally, I would recommend going with Rocket Boo over here, which allows you to deal the highest damage. It is a little tricky coming with Safety Boo, but if you want to try this out, it can also work. So in the previous guide, I have a lot of Safety Boo, but I recommend considering Rocket Boo over here as a replacement if you guys want to try to mix things up using a fire pet with 2 fire characters. Now having 4 different fire characters on the team with Soldier 11, Codia, Ben, and also having Lucy can be a great mix. And I do want to mention that if you're running Codia with Ben and also Lucy, this can work. If you're running Soldier 11, this can be a mix of any of those other 3 fire characters, and this will work wonderfully. So to summarize, the top of the meta of the tier list is going to be the Ice team. The second team can be any of your preference with Grace, Necrometa, Codia, or Soldier 11, and this can be combined with the associative supporting characters like Reyna, Anton, Ben, Lucy, and also Piper. Nicole is on the higher side of the tier list simply because we know that she will be stronger on the next banner. But if you guys are not pulling her on the next banner, you can lower her to the C grade, or even consider not investing too much into her. So here's my updated tier list together with our updated build guide for all the characters. Now if you do want a more detailed summary, I'll have the notes available for you guys to have a look, including additional notes, additional guides, and also additional tips from the previous video. So hopefully you guys enjoy this updated tier list. Let me know in the comments below, guys, who is your favorite character so far, and what is your main team at the moment to progress through the stories and also clear the challenges.